Hey folks, this is Big Buck Tom, and we're back again. Last year, you may remember, Mickey and I, my best friend and rattling partner, went out to try to test the Big Buck 4 and 2 rattling antlers. Wound up rattling in over 150 deer and winning the National Rattling Championship. This year, we got a new idea. We thought we're going to see what'll happen if we add a decoy to our program. So we got in touch with Tail Trick Decoys, and they were nice enough to send us a few of their decoys. They're real easy to handle. They're lightweight. They got easy to set up as long as you can get the stakes in the ground. We like to rattle and move around, so it's important to us that these decoys be mobile. And anyway, we are setting up here, and as you see, we start to rattle, and this is going to be a treat for you because it doesn't take long before a nice buck shows himself. And he comes up and he looks over there at us. He's acting kind of funny, but he's a really nice 10-pointer, you can see there. I sometimes think that looks like an 11-point, but I think that's a blade of grass you're looking at there, if that split on that brow tine. Anyway, he's a fine buck, and he looked at us over there, and he was acting kind of funny, and the reason was we later saw that he was there with a doe. And this is the rut down here, and sometimes it's a little hard to get him away from that girlfriend if she's being affectionate. But we kept working on this deer. He kept looking over, and he could see the decoys. We decided this year not to even try to use any kind of cover. We absolutely used the decoys. Mickey's sitting right behind this little butt, we'll call it, a booty with a tail flicking. That's the small decoy. He's not even concealed. He's just behind that decoy with his camera. And I'm a little bit over to the left there. You can see Mickey pan over to me there. And I'm behind the what we're going to call Bucky the Buck. Anyway, old Bucky did a good job for us this year, taking the attention off of us and putting it on the decoy. But you can see that is a really fine buck, and he's gotten interested by now, and it won't be long before he'll be crossing over. This buck actually comes within 10 feet of us, comes down a draw and crosses over and gets up behind a mesquite bush, or really a chamisa bush, and that's all that's between us when he gets up really close. So we kept working on him. He didn't come real quick, but it took a little time. But if you're persistent, a lot of times persistency will pay off. And so we worked this buck. We probably worked this buck 20 minutes total. Don't worry, you're not going to have to watch this video 20 minutes. We've done some editing. But the fact is, we worked and worked, and the more he looked, the more he got curious, and the more he decided he better come over and protect what was his. And he did, folks. He came right in on top of us after a while. So if you just pay attention here, you're going to see that happen. But he's a fine specimen, and he's lucky we're not armed, because we'd like to hang him on the wall. Here he comes down there. He's done stepped out and made a commitment to us, and we know he's coming in. And he just takes his time. He's cautious, but he just cannot resist. He's hearing that rattle, and he's saying, you know, if I don't go let them know I'm over here and I'm bigger than they are, they're going to come get my girlfriend, and that's not something he's interested in. So, by the way, I don't know if you saw our videos last year, but we had this buck last year, and he was an 8-point. He was just about as pretty as he is now as a 10-point. He's just bigger and prettier. And next year we may get him, and he may be a 12-point, hopefully. Things go right. Anyway, he works on over, and we keep hammering on those rattling antlers. Every time we think he'd might lose interest, we crank up again, and then we lay back, as you can hear in the rattling sequences you're listening to. Our primary purpose this year was to test these decoys and just see how effective they would be in putting the buck's attention on the decoy and off of the hunter, and the hunter was us. And I can tell you folks, they work like a charm. Isn't that a fine looking buck there? And next year he's going to look better. I may have given you a little bit more video and you're interested in watching, but it's such a good picture of this deer, we just couldn't hardly get away. Now he's got his head down. He's after that doe, but we take him off of that doe, folks, and you'll see he'll come right in on top of us. He's not going to be as clear as what you just saw, but you'll see him right behind the bushes all the way when he comes in on top of us. So just hang in here with us and let us work him on in. It takes a while. Sometimes they don't come crashing in like the books tell you they do. By the way, if you're interested in learning something about rattling, go to bigbuckrattlingantlers.com and download the book Rattling Whitetails. It's free, and we did it just so people would know what we've been able to learn over a number of years, and our friends have shared with us on how to rattle whitetail. Believe me, folks, it works. Now look behind these bushes here and look real close, because it won't be long he's going to come right into the picture. Now you can see, look through those bushes real hard. See him moving right there? He's probably not 5 yards from where I'm laying there in the ground. And there's no way Mickey's going to get a clean shot of that, because if he did, we'd have to stand up. But you can see him moving back and forth. He's right behind the dummy right there, right behind the decoy. And here he comes out to the right side here, and he's going to look more like a silhouette. I guess it's just the way the light hits the camera and the shadows, but you can see him right back through there. There he is right there. And he's right on top of us. I'm not rattling now. I'm just laying there seeing how close he'll come. And he couldn't get much closer. If I'd had a spear, I could have stuck him. And he finally saw what was going on, and he eases out here. And that's what we call a successful rattling in, folks. That's all for now, folks. Adios.